All right, so let's do some practice of charcoal on some textured paper. It's always a good idea to check out the tooth of your paper before you're working with it, because a lot of times one side of the paper will have a little bit of a different tooth than the other side. So if I take my charcoal and I just color over the paper a little bit, you can kind of see a very rough texture of the tooth. There you go, that's better. Okay, and then if I flip to the other side, you can see that the other side has a little bit of a smoother tooth to it. See, that side versus that side. This one looks more like a paper towel, and this one seems more like just a regular smooth piece of paper. So decide which you like to use. The rougher side will be able to hold more charcoal, but you have to work the charcoal into the tooth of the paper a little bit more. So let's go ahead and do some value scales. So we have a nice white charcoal pencil that'll actually show up very well on this tone texture paper. It's kind of nice. And let's go ahead and use our pencils and stuff. So I'm gonna do a nice value scale from white into black. And what's great about these papers is you can work more back and forth between the pencils. So you don't always have to work from light to dark. You can work from light to dark and back from dark to light. But do know that once you have charcoal down on something, it could be a little hard to get something to be pure white again, although that worked pretty well. But just be careful. When you have something pure white on your picture, make sure you go in with that white first. So I'm gonna do a little value scale, and I'm just thinking of that gradient in my mind that goes from white to gray and then into black. Okay, so I got a little bit of a white gradient, and then I'm gonna do my 2B. Again, I'm like using the pressure of my pencil. Okay, I want lighter tones now. So I'm easing up on the pressure of my pencil. Okay, I'm starting to get a gradient, and I have a couple options here. I can now use a blending stump, okay? And my blending stump's looking good. I'm never pushing down on that point. I'm holding it flat against the paper like that. Okay, even like that in my hand is good too. And I work from light to darker. Okay, which is very nice. Okay, made a nice little smudge. The blending stump kind of carried a lot of the white over into the black area and helped them blend together. Sometimes when you do that, you might lose a little bit of black, so you can kind of add some in as you need. I think this could stand to look a little whiter on the end, so you just add it like that, and you can work back and forth. Let's try this again with the 4B pencil. So again, I'll start with some white. And what's cool is I'll show you how the white can kind of act like a blending stump too. And okay, when I start easing up on my pressure, and now I can take my white and kind of use that to blend as well. It blends a little bit. Okay, and then I'm losing a little bit of the black that I went over here, so I can work back and forth. Okay, so you have some options as you're working with these pencils, okay? So we're gonna use this to do some gradients and to do a cylinder to shade it in really nicely, but that's your basic textured paper. Check out the tooth, use the blending stump. Don't forget, when you clean a blending stump, hold it down against the sandpaper and swipe it down, okay? See, that's how you clean it. Do not ever scrub this thing back and forth. Ever, 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 don't do that.